Hello and welcome to another episode of the Contractor Grow Show. My name is Mark. I'm your host. And today, I'm really excited to speak with Jay McDade at Conservation Construction right here in Lakewood, Colorado, right down the road from us here in Denver. Jay, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me, Mark.
Yeah, so we've done a lot of research, and man, you guys have got a great story and sounds like a great company. You guys have been doing this for a long, long time. You have kind of expanded into some different areas. Would love to just hear just kind of the history of the business, how you got into this, and where things are at today.
Sure. I got into windows and siding actually in 1987. My brother and brother-in-law recruited me to the Washington, D.C. area, and I was living in Colorado, and went out there and learned this business and liked the fact that you were putting in good energy efficient products for people, and they were lasting, a long time and added value to their house and all that. But I didn't like the DC area and came back to Colorado and tried working with a couple different companies as far as doing sales, but they were trying to cover the whole state plus other states and lots of travel. And I'm like, guys, there's millions of people around Denver. Why don't we concentrate here? And so it ended up that my wife and I started Conservation Construction. And what we did was we marketed. So there's a builder named Hutchinson, and he built a lot of homes that were aging and had either aluminum windows or crank out metal windows. We targeted those windows to start with, those neighborhoods. And my wife would pass out flyers and talk to people, and I would go in and sell the windows that we had. And we were selling a lot of Amerimex windows, which were built in Loveland. And and then I would install windows too with, hired some helper guys and do the whole shoot and match. And the company started getting a good reputation, and then it ended up I needed more sales guys and more installers, and the company kind of grew from there. And today we didn't even dream we'd be as big as we are. We're not the biggest, but we have a pretty good amount of windows that we do in Colorado each year, and we pretty much concentrate from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins.
Okay.
So we expanded it a bit, and we don't go to Pueblo, and we do work up in the mountains, and we do work other places, but usually that's just referral work, and we're not really advertising or doing anything to attract that type of business.
Gotcha. So I saw here that, when you started in the mid 80s, you're working for the third largest window and siding company in America, but kind of realized that working for a company that big, there was like a loss of personal touch and attention, and customers maybe weren't getting that level of just kind of service and attention. Is that right? And how with Conservation Construction did you guys kind of solve for that and bring the level of service to the customers that they really deserve?
Really through quality people. And, any company that makes a mistake and tries to correct it, the customers are quite happy with it. Most people in today's world don't think that you're perfect 100% of the time. So when we do mismeasure a window or, so we have some problem, we try to take care of it and just be upfront about it and say, oops, we'll take care of it. And and then we look for good products where those products I'd be happy to have in my house. And the company I mentioned before, Amerimex, we were their biggest dealer. It progressed to where we're their biggest dealer for many years. And they actually designed a window just for us with some features I wanted, like lift out easy clean tracks and we had better rollers than the competition, and we had a integral fin on the outside to install it with less trim on the outside. And we did really well with that company for decades. But then when COVID came along, and then all the corporate mergers started happening, that company got bought out twice. And I'm sad to say that it doesn't exist any longer.
Oh,
But
no.
the good news is, with one of the mergers, the windows came with a lifetime warranty. With one of the mergers, the last merger, they did assume the warranty, so we are able to get warranty work for if we do have a problem with the window. So
Okay.
and then we went with another window, primarily, that's called an Anlin window, and they're built in California, and they match really well to the Amerimex window. So when a lot of times, if you have a house with 40 windows, the customer might not want to bite off all 40 windows at once. So, we had customers that, had half their house done, and we wanted to find a window that looked really good. And it's kind of funny, if you were going to talk to the Amerimex people or the Anlin people, they would say that one copied the other, but which copied which, I don't know. But it worked out to where they look really similar. So when we do an install, they match really well.
Huh.
And the Anlin window comes with a double lifetime warranty. And so for the first homeowner, it covers labor and the materials. Very unusual for most window companies. If you have a problem, especially after the first year, they're going to send you a part, and then the homeowner, then it's up to you to figure out how to get it done. And when that customer then sells that house, the double part is the new homeowner gets a lifetime warranty, but they don't get the labor part.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So it's actually the best warranty we know of, and it's a really well-built window. So
amazing. So, I mean, you guys got really looking at for quality products, and also you said just excellent team. I mean, can I ask you, what is kind of the range of your team these days?
The range is
like that.
Or the range in age, or
it's how many people you have on your team.
So as far as there's just over 100 people, including, we actually started another branch down in Texas. It's actually not the same company because it has different ownership. So that's Conservation Construction of Texas. And that's in Houston and Dallas. And the Colorado office does a lot of the administrative and ordering, and to where those are more satellite offices. And so
amazing.
There's 24 salespeople, and
okay,
the installers are all subcontractors except for our service guys.
Okay.
With them, literally, they like working for a company that honors what they say and, pays them what they say they're going to pay them. And if there's a problem, they're in the middle of a problem. So they want to try to work it out too, whether they cause the problem or we cause the problem. So my subcontractors we don't say they work exclusively for us, because then they're not a subcontractor. Whereas they are allowed to work for other companies. But we give them so much work that they've been with us for decades.
Gotcha. Technically subs, but they ain't going anywhere.
Technically subs, but they like to hang where they get fed well.
Oh man, that is awesome. That's incredible, Jay. So, I mean, what an amazing story. And I mean, that's a big presence. I mean, here in Colorado, that is a lot of folks on your team, a lot of folks that are kind of, depending on you guys, at different levels. And You said that you're able to grow and able to create the business that you do. You guys have got a ton of, great reviews on Google. People love you guys. The piece where I'm curious about your process of hiring great talent, or great, subs or great people on your team, because I've actually heard that that's one of the highest kind of leverage, if you will, places of business. You can get someone who's really, really good for, whatever the cost of that person is. Oftentimes they're bringing almost 3 or 5 times that value in a way, right? Someone who's really, really good, who's actually great at doing their work, who's great at kind of carrying out your vision in the field, ultimately representing you guys. That's how you guys get such great reviews. We're always trying to help contractors kind of gain an edge and ultimately grow their business and do it sustainably and do it well. Do you have any tips on how to consistently go out like you guys have and find like talented team that does just a great job day after day and represents the company well?
Well, and I'm sure you've heard this term numerous times, trust but verify.
Yeah.
So
Famous Ronald Reagan quote, right?
yes. We check up on each other.
Uh-huh.
So as far as, if the estimator's going out to look at his job and it doesn't look good, he's going to let us know. We have a serviceman that one of his duties too is to go and look at installs just randomly and make sure that everybody's doing what we want to do. And, with hiring, I like word of mouth, the best way to, where one installer's talking to another installer and, they're looking for work and they say, well, this company here is a great one to work for. I've worked for them for, decades. And so that's the best way to do it. If I'm trying to hire and I don't have somebody, I need somebody at that particular moment and I run an ad, go look at their work, look at pictures of their work, meet with them, talk to them, see if they're grown-ups. We want to hire the grown-up guy. We don't want to hire the kid that's not going to show up and stand up our customer or start cutting corners as soon as no one's looking. And the grown-up contractor, he knows that if he keeps doing it the same way that he was supposed to do it, he's going to get more and more work.
Fantastic. And then regarding kind of hiring word of mouth, you guys got a lot of teams. So, inevitably there's some turnover at some level. Are you always kind of putting out the word that, hey, look, we're always looking for good people. We're always kind of recruiting, or is it when someone leaves or a key position, or a few people take off, that at that point, do you actually go out and talk to your team and kind of solicit them to bring in friends? How do you make that kind of word of mouth sort of happen? Is it just kind of organically, or does it happen kind of very actively on your part?
With our hiring, with that, we're, with companies, a lot of times you'll talk about dollar volume as a size of company. We kind of went to about $10 million in a year in Denver, and we've pretty much stayed there. And so I don't hire many installers now. Some of my installers are getting a little long in the tooth and getting the same color hair that I have. And, as far as they're going to retire at some point, and yes, I'll put out the word with my other installers, hey, we're going to have an opening. And do you have anyone you recommend? And that was, that's the good news and the bad news. The good news is we've had a really, let's call it a really stable. But the bad news is we're kind of stuck at around $10 million a year. And then, this year it's so warm in Colorado, there's not as much attraction to, when people are cold, they're more likely to pick up the phone or fill out a form on the internet that says, come give me an estimate.
Huh. Interesting. So the weather definitely affects you guys' sales ultimately from, colder winter, you guys are going to get more sales following that. Warmer winter, less sales, huh?
Yes. If you have a cold snap, you definitely notice a pickup in appointments.
Amazing. Interesting. Okay. Well, fantastic. Well, Jay, so I'm curious, you've got an amazing company here, and this has been working great for you for a long time. You guys have built an amazing team. You and your wife Lynn are here, longtime Colorado residents. I'm just curious, when you get to a business that is really stable at this level of would this be kind of 8 figures? This it's working good. I'm curious, do you have things that you guys do? I'm sure you do. What do you do in your free time? Do you have any kind of things that you're kind of exploring that are sort of outside of the business, or working with any kind of groups or any kind of church stuff? I'm just curious what the lifestyle is of, an owner who's been at this for a long time, has got his thing down and it's got a great business. And what else do you guys do?
Well, we're skiers, mountain bikers. I snowboard.
I love it.
And I do. Have you ever heard of NSCD up in Winter Park?
No.
National Center for Sports Center for Disabled.
Okay.
And I love volunteering with them.
Amazing.
And so you'll have people with different challenges, and they'll have different equipment that can help them, whether it's a ski bike or a sit ski or just, a lot of different stuff. So I find that very rewarding.
Oh man, I bet. That is fantastic. Well, Jay, great stuff. It's so great to interview folks that have just really been at it for a long time. And, I love that you guys are kind of in a narrow lane here. I talk with this a lot with guests on the show here. We've seen that folks that, doing window siding, the various kind of relatively narrow things you guys do, and windows is the main thing. I know you guys do other things as well, but we see those companies just really kind of outpace other companies that are more generalist. And so it's just really cool to hear about your career, about how you've been doing this for so long. If folks are looking to get in touch with, if they're needing some windows done or potentially some siding replacement, some other, external things on a house, here in the kind of Denver metro area, or even up and down the Front Range, or if folks want to be on a great team that is long established and has got maybe some spots coming up over here over the next few years, what are a couple of good ways to get in touch with you guys?
Well, 303-237-1687 is the main number.
Okay.
And then they can email me at J McDade, MC, just the letter J.
Okay.
Then my last name. And then we have CC for Conservation Construction.
Okay.
And at gmail.com.
So again, guys, that is 303-237-1687 is their main office line. You can get in touch with these guys there. Or jmcdadecc at gmail, and that's just the letter J. And then McDade is MCDADE. And then CC for Conservation Construction at gmail.com. And also have a great website that is a great URL too, conservationconstruction.com. You'll also find ways to get in touch with them there. You can take a look at their socials and things, and learn more about the company and the different service offerings that they have. Fantastic. Well, Jay, thank you so much for taking your time today. I really appreciate you taking out time in your busy schedule and taking time from off the slopes. We've got some snow here recently, so these are precious days here to be up and be skiing and having fun with your friends and your wife. So thanks again for being on the show today, and we look forward to hearing how things roll out here for the next year or two for you guys.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate your interest.